When I got the invitation from ISTE, which is the International Society for Technology and Education, to come to this conference, I was hesitant. I mean, mathematics has been my career, technology has been my career, and every 10 years I go to one of these meetings, and I'll say, well, will it be the same thing I've heard every 10 years since I started my career in 1962? I got a degree in mathematics, graduated. I was ready to be drafted. 5 days before I was to be drafted, I was a mathematician, so they decided since Sputnik was up, we had to catch up with the Russians, and so we all became teachers. So now I'm a teacher of math. I proceeded to finish a master's degree in mathematics. I did a degree in topology, and at that point, there was only 2 people in the world interested in my thesis topic. I thought, I need to change my direction. So teaching, I went on to work on a doctorate, and in 1970, I got a PhD, probably one of the few in the world at that time, in math and computer science education. I've seen these acronyms change through the years. I think my thesis was using the computer to teach calculus. We had time-shared computers, and you had to dial them up. I think now they call it a cloud, but it was all somewhere up there. And it was CAI, I did write it one time, CMI, CSI, you name the acronyms, and this one is CMI must have been in the early 70s. This one probably should be technology-based instead of computer-based because the technology has changed so radically. I wrote a book, Computer-Based Calculus, in 1972, I believe. I think that was the title, where I really proved in my dissertation a lot of the things you've said today about exploring the concept of limit, the concept of fractions. And so with that, I mean limit and functions, it was very successful, my research. And so I decided, well, maybe that's the degree that I should pursue. And I did, and I decided at that point with having 3 children, if I was going to make a mark, I was going to go into elementary mathematics education for teachers. And that's what I did. And this particular story, you should put it in Google. It was 2 days ago in the Chronicle of Higher Education. Is math too hard or just not interesting enough? And I think that's really a very important point that we need to address. Is it too hard or not just interesting enough? NCTM has gone out of the way, supposedly, to say that technology should be part of the entire instructional K-12 and beyond, and they've done minimal research, by the way, to support it. But if you look at these standards that they have written in 2008, and they supposedly also match the common standards. You all, and not from the US, we now have a national common standards in math and common standards in language arts, and 44 states have signed up. So it really moves the curriculum quite rapidly through, if you look at it at an earlier age. We're now teaching algebra. I think as soon as they're out of the crib, we've been teaching algebra. One of my dreams was in the late 80s, I had a grant from the National Science Foundation to really use technology, and my idea was we need to test and then have this program was supposed to branch to software that would help alleviate the deficiency. Well, that wasn't possible back then because all these different programs couldn't be linked. So I got involved several years ago. The university went into partnership with a company in Turkey, and we have produced adaptive curriculum. If you go to adaptivecurriculum.com, and I see that really as a way to teach students. We need to reach them at an early age. Adaptive curriculum uses real-world examples. It's all animation, and I think in other parts of the world, in Turkey and Jordan, et cetera, it's called a vitamin. You might look it up and see what we've done there. So my one dream came true. But as all this technology has come around, I was blessed to be in the audiences with Gates and Jobs, as we go through the various things, I'd be invited. In fact, I was invited by Jobs to the next, he flew me out to see the introduction of the next computer. Well, as this goes on, when I saw the apps phenomena, I was really intrigued. So that's the direction we took. In fact, really pushing, we've really emphasized the iPhone, and now the Android will be coming out in the next few weeks. And so mobile apps and community platforms, there's so many possibilities. Widgets, I know if you open the iPhone 4, the new one, you put your finger, and if you upload the operating system, it'll give you the weather and the stock market and all your messages. And so it continues to be improving. And we have apps for just about everything that has gone on. And so it's free. I think the word that you need to get into your thinking is free. We're going open everything in the U.S., California, textbooks. Last thing you want to do is invest into a textbook company at this point, because free is the word. So that my idea was to make it free. One of the areas of great interest to me is augmented reality. I think that's going to really make it play. And I wanted to show you the free, if it all works. Through the years, I've experienced many different times. The problem is you need to focus on teachers. And this is what I've tried to do. I've taken the video library, then integrating technology, and I put it online. It's free. And you can at any time access it. So there are 22 videos of actual teaching of mathematics using technology and science and language arts. And what in each case, a video is, for this connection, for each one we have a lesson description, the guiding questions, context, teacher lesson plan, NETs, the technology standards, the NCTM standards. We include commentary. We were one of the first to invent that with a program called Methodology, which was the first one. I went big time into video because I knew that was coming, that it was going to play a major role. So everything I did was based on video, and Methodology was one of the first programs won all kinds of awards in the late 90s because we included commentary by teachers and math professors and everyone else that wanted to say something. The transcript, we include the student work for each lesson. So what we're trying to do is reach teachers. All the handouts for the lesson are there. We're trying to reach teachers to the videos. You guys have killed all the system here. The video comes up, you can put it in a full screen, and it shows an actual classroom, has a pre-teacher interview, it has a lesson, which is usually 50 minutes long, and a post-interview. And there are, out of the ones listed, if you go into the, to reach these, you can load them down now if you want. At Arizona, just type in search, iPad, Arizona State University, and you should be able to access all of these free. They're downloaded free. I figured the only way we're going to change teachers' behavior and to help them understand how to teach math as we would like to see it taught is to demonstrate it. So these are all project-based. This was part of a multi-million grant that I had to help teachers integrate technology, so all the videos are professional, and they go from there. He had mentioned something about the iPad. One of my first encounters was to, well, I think I put it way over here. If you, they now charge for them, not my choice. These are all grade K through 3 teaching mathematics to kids. They have voice, which is kind of difficult to do with the apps. This fall, I was released to help faculty develop apps, so we're developing apps in all the curriculum areas. And then in the spring, I'm teaching a course for any students, undergraduate or graduate, up to 50, to help them develop apps. And hopefully, I had a math teacher email me yesterday. She says, I want to test all your apps when they're done. But you need to have access. And that's why the technology is so important, that the students have access with, in our case, to train teachers, they need to take it home, have it access at home. We're finding what iPads are supposed to sell, what, 30 million, am I done? 30 million this fall. So free. Type in Arizona State University, search, there's some iPhone, and that IQ test up here, I don't know, it's over about 100,000 hits so far. It's the dumbest program at all. Just test your IQ and says you're stupid when you don't get anything. Thank you.